ain't get to about Oodie. Then
I swear you'll die.
Then I gotta die by that. You told my shit.
Damn, bitch.
Give me my
I
phone.
gotta die if I tell what happened.
Give me my phone.
That's crazy, y'all. I ain't really gonna die behind this, so y'all won't know that tea right now.
Give me my phone.
Mark done got quiet. Where he at? He right here. He getting mad. He don't like the truth coming out.
He knew this whole time that he was a snake-ass dude. He knew this. He knew if it ever came out that he was involved in that situation with my cousin Obi, that he was going to have to give his ass to God. You understand that? Period. He knew this. He knew this. He knew this. So while he was up here pillow talking to Zaria, he ain't realized this whole time you been putting hands and feet on that girl. See, she called the wrong people. What she should have did is called my family and told us the real, but she was so afraid to say something.
On June 14th, 2025, thousands of Facebook users watched a live stream that began as a domestic argument. At first, it appeared to be another public dispute between a couple known for their volatile relationship. Within minutes, the woman mentioned a name, Oodie, and threatened to expose something. The man's response was immediate. "You're going to make me kill you." At that point, it was clear this was no longer just an argument, but a question remained. One that tens of thousands of people watching their screens that evening had already asked out loud. What was Zaria about to say about Oodie? You're watching Morbid True Crime, psychological true crime documentaries. Like, subscribe, and share for in-depth stories that uncover the mind behind the crime. This is an update to a case we covered previously, the death of Zaria Carr, known online as Duchess Dior, and the role her husband Shamarcus Carr, known as the Frenchman, played in ending her life. If you haven't seen the original episode, here's what you need to know. Zaria and Shamarcus Carr were a married couple in Twin City, Georgia, who had taken their relationship and its fractures onto Facebook Live. They had accumulated tens of thousands of followers who watched their public arguments unfold in real time. In the days leading up to June 14, 2025, that content had grown more volatile. Allegations exchanged between the two included infidelity, domestic violence, and what Zaria described as secrets she intended to expose. On the night of the 14th, that exposure never came. Zaria was killed, and Shamarcus died by self-inflicted gunshot before he could face any formal legal process. No charges were filed. No trial took place. What this update examines is the specific secret Zaria was preparing to reveal moments before the livestream went dark. A name she mentioned only once on camera before the argument turned fatal. The name was Oodie. To understand the weight of that name, it helps to understand the environment these two people operated in before any cameras were rolling. Shamarcus Carr was described by people who knew him as someone who had lived a street-level life in the Twin City area. In one of the earlier Facebook Lives, Zaria referenced a specific individual, someone she called Squeeze, and alleged that Shamarcus had become involved with Squeeze's girlfriend. Shamarcus, when pressed on this, acknowledged Squeeze as someone he had, in his words, run the streets together with, a former associate now estranged. That comment, the acknowledgement of a prior life, prior associations, prior loyalties, forms the backdrop against which the name Oodie would later surface.
He got a whole attitude off it up. I know you don't f*** them niggas. You don't f*** them niggas. Oh yeah, you don't f***. I know who it is. You don't f*** Squeeze. You don't f*** Squeeze. So I'm like, bitch, let nobody f*** no damn Squeeze. What's wrong with you? Like, I ain't on my kids. I put this on my baby right now. She can die. Y'all, I ain't never f*** no Squeeze. I ain't never been around Squeeze. I seen Squeeze one time. That was at his dad's house at a party. On my kids, I never went around that nigga. Now your bitch ass went lying. Oh, she trying to fuck with my baby daddy. She with the wrong one. Doing all this popping on the phone. I don't even know. He's sitting right here. Got the phone on speaker. Let me listen. I'm about to go down there and beat her ass. We went down there because she popping to him like, oh, I'm going to beat your baby mama ass. We get down there. She didn't know we together. She texted me like, oh, I'm at a game. You should have been in game. Then she telling him, oh, I'm finna beat your baby mama ass. What? Come not that one? Not that one? Not that one, baby. I wanted to see that.
People familiar with the case and with Shamarcus Carr's personal history claim that Oodie, whose full name is Obi Wilson, was another individual connected to Shamarcus, not a stranger. According to those accounts, someone close enough that any betrayal between them would carry real consequence. According to community accounts and social media discussions that circulated following Zaria's death, Obi Wilson was murdered. The exact circumstances of that death have not been independently verified and are not part of any publicly disclosed criminal investigation connecting Shamarcus Carr. What is documented, and what is the focus of this update, is the allegation that Shamarcus Carr played some role in what happened to Oodie, and that Zaria Carr knew what that role was.
Because the situation that happened with Obi, he was up, and we knew it was some foul play. We been knowing it was some foul play. We just been trying to figure out what players was on the chessboard. You feel me? That's what we was trying to figure out. And my auntie been saying she felt like Shamarcus was on some bullshit. Now let's be real. Shamarcus and Obi been friends for a minute. Best friends, thick as thieves. Obi go get money, he brings Shamarcus. Shamarcus ain't have to worry about no bread when my cousin was alive. Cause when Obi rode, he brought Shamarcus. If he got paid, he brought Shamarcus and broke him off. But see, the problem is when you out here getting money, cause my cousin wasn't no weak dude. When I tell you he was out here getting that bread, he was getting that bread. Okay, and it might have not have been legally, but he was getting that bread. And the crazy thing about it is the way he was set up, we kept saying, this gotta be an inside was up. And we knew saying, this gotta be an inside situation, because the stuff that these people knew didn't make sense. It gotta be an inside situation. He knew this whole time that he was a snake-ass dude. He knew this. He knew if it ever came out that he was involved in that situation with my cousin Obi, that he was going to have to give his ass to God. You understand that? Period. He knew this. He knew this. He knew this. So while he was up here pillow talking to Zaria, he ain't realized this whole time you been putting hands and feet on that girl. See, she called the wrong people. What she should have did is call my family and told us the real, but she was so afraid to say something.
On the evening of June 14, 2025, Zaria Carr went live on Facebook. This was not unusual. She and Shamarcus had used the platform repeatedly in the days prior, each session a continuation of the same ongoing confrontation. By this point, Zaria had amassed over 36,000 followers. In the hours before the final livestream, she had posted a public message to her page. She wrote, "I really don't know what to do, but I need help before I lose my life or freedom. My kids need me." That post was visible to everyone who followed her. It described fear. It described an awareness that something was escalating beyond what she could manage. The final livestream began that same evening. The argument between Zaria and Shamarcus followed the pattern of previous sessions: mutual allegations, raised voices, attempts to speak over one another to the audience watching. What was different about this session was what Zaria said she was prepared to reveal. During the argument, Zaria told Shamarcus and the audience watching that she was going to tell everyone about Oodie. The reaction was immediate. Shamarcus's demeanor changed the moment that name entered the conversation. What had been a heated but familiar argument shifted. He told Zaria, "You're going to make me kill you." Zaria appeared to recognize the shift. She told viewers she would share what she knew about Oodie at another time, effectively pulling back from the revelation in the moment. She said she wasn't willing to die over it.
Now, let me finish. I'm on live. You had them 2 hours?
You finna go on your live.
Now you want the phone back.
No, I gave you a shot.
I ain't get to tell you. I ain't get to tell about Oodie. Then
I swear you'll die.
I gotta die about that. You told my shit.
Give me my phone.
Damn, bitch.
Give me my
I
phone.
gotta die if I tell what happened.
Give me my phone.
That's crazy, y'all. I ain't willing to die about it, so y'all won't know that tea right now.
Give me my phone.
Mark done got quiet. Where he at? He right here. He getting mad. He don't like the truth coming out.
Shortly after that exchange, Shamarcus was seen on camera reaching for a knife. The live stream ended. It did not resume. At approximately 9:30 p.m., law enforcement was dispatched to the residence. Zaria was found unresponsive. Evidence later indicated she had been physically assaulted before being shot. Shamarcus Carr fled the scene. He was located approximately 90 minutes later in Wayne County, inside the same vehicle. He shot himself before officers could take him into custody. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. In the days and weeks following Zaria's death, online discussions focused on a single question. What was she about to say? People who knew Shamarcus Carr, or who claimed to have knowledge of his past, began sharing accounts online. These accounts claim that Obi Wilson, the individual Zaria referred to as Oodie, was a man who had trusted Shamarcus. According to these accounts, Shamarcus betrayed that trust in a way that directly contributed to Oodie's death. The specific nature of that alleged betrayal varies across accounts. Some believe Shamarcus provided information that put Oodie in danger. Others suggest a more direct form of setup. The common thread across these accounts is the claim that Shamarcus Carr was responsible, in some capacity, for what happened to Obi Wilson.
But see, he knew. When she said Obi's name, it was going to be a problem, because why you bringing up Obi? What you mean with what happened with Obi? And see, I think she tried to play it off by saying Oodie. She tried to play it off because she knew if she would have said Obi, everybody in my family would have been like, ain't no Oodie. It's Obi. He know what he did to my cousin. He know. He know how he set my cousin up. Because see, the shit that these knew, yeah, it was definitely an inside job. And Shamarcus' bitch ass was right there the whole time playing puppet master. You had the audacity to show up at my cousin's fucking funeral. You knew this shit was gonna come back tenfold. You knew it. You knew it.
It is important to be direct about what this means in terms of evidence. These are community allegations. They are unconfirmed. No public charging document, arrest record, or investigative file has been identified that connects Shamarcus Carr to the death of Obi Wilson. The accounts circulating online represent what people believe happened, not what has been established legally or forensically. What can be stated with certainty is this: Zaria Carr named Oodie on a live broadcast. Shamarcus Carr responded by threatening to kill her. Zaria Carr was dead within hours, and the only person who knew the full scope of what Zaria intended to reveal did not survive to be questioned. What investigators and the public were left to evaluate was a behavioral record captured in real time. Across multiple Facebook Live sessions in the days prior, Shamarcus Carr had made threats. He had stated on camera that Zaria would die. He had made references to violence in terms specific enough that viewers flagged them. He had not, in any of those prior sessions, reacted the way he reacted when Zaria said the name Oodie. That specificity matters. Not every threat he made that week ended in action. The one that followed the mention of Oodie did. People who followed the case closely note that Shamarcus's flight from the scene was also immediate, not the behavior of someone who had acted in a moment of uncontrolled rage and then remained present. He left. He took his car. He traveled to another county. When law enforcement located him, he did not attempt to surrender. These facts do not establish motive in a legal sense. No trial ever occurred, but they form a behavioral sequence that those following the case have examined in detail. Because Shamarcus Carr died on the night of June 14, 2025, no criminal prosecution was initiated. Law enforcement confirmed Zaria's death as a homicide. They confirmed the flight, the pursuit, and the self-inflicted gunshot that ended Shamarcus Carr's life. The investigation into Zaria's death was, in effect, concluded by the perpetrator's death. There was no arrest, no discovery phase, no testimony under oath, and no cross-examination. Whatever Shamarcus knew about Oodie, about what Zaria had learned, about what she intended to say, died with him. The question of whether law enforcement investigated any connection between Shamarcus Carr and the death of Obi Wilson is not something that has been publicly addressed. If such an investigation exists or existed, its findings have not been disclosed. What social media preserved and what remains publicly viewable is the record of the live streams themselves, the argument, the threat, the name, the silence that followed. In retrospect, those who watched the final livestream describe a clear before and after. Before Zaria said the name Oodie, the argument had the quality of the previous sessions, escalating, volatile, but following a pattern the audience had seen before. After she said it, something changed. Shamarcus Carr had tolerated, or at least not acted with lethal force on, a series of prior public humiliations, allegations about infidelity, allegations about STDs, allegations about a relationship with Squeeze's girlfriend. None of those had ended the same way. The introduction of Oodie's name produced a different response, one that was, by every observable measure, more severe and more immediate than what had come before. Whether that reaction reflects guilt, fear of exposure, or something else is not something that can be established now. What can be established is the sequence. The name was said, the threat was made, and Zaria Carr did not survive the night. Zaria Carr, 27 years old, was killed on June 14, 2025, in Twin City, Georgia. She leaves behind 2 children. Shamarcus Carr, 36 years old, died by self-inflicted gunshot on the same night, following a police pursuit into Wayne County. No criminal charges were filed. No trial took place. The case, from a legal standpoint, closed the night it opened. The name Obi Wilson, Oodie, remains part of an unresolved public conversation. The allegations connecting Shamarcus Carr to his death are unconfirmed. No official investigative findings on that connection have been made public as of the date of this episode. Zaria's children are the only people left to live with the outcome. What this case presents is a behavioral record in a format rarely captured so completely. A man filmed making threats, filmed reacting to a specific name with a specific kind of violence, filmed in the moments before a killing. And yet the full picture remains incomplete. A secret Zaria Carr was willing to die for, or more precisely, one she said she wasn't, went with her. The person who knew what she knew, and who apparently could not allow it to be spoken, is also gone. What remains is a name, Oodie, and the question of what saying it cost. What remains is a record of confirmed actions and the decisions that preceded them. In cases like this, understanding those decisions is often the only clarity left behind. Thank you for watching Morbid True Crime. If this story made you think, consider liking the video, subscribing, and sharing it, because understanding the crime is how we prevent the next one.